carry on that noble tradition in the spirit of their motto, Pride in Service. With a wide range of performing ensembles, this talented group of professional military musicians appear in hundreds of parade, concert, school, public, and recruiting performances throughout its 11-state area each year as the Navy's ambassadors to the Midwest. The Commander, Naval Service Training Command, Rear Admiral Mike Bernanke, is proud to present the men and women of Navy Band Great Lakes. To honor those who have served, Navy Band Great Lakes will conclude today's concert with a performance of the Armed Forces Medley. As your service song is played, please stand to recognize you and your family's service to our country. The United States Army. The United States Marine Corps. The United States Air Force. The United States Coast Guard. The United States Navy. The drum major for today's concert is musician First Class David Drescher. And conducting Navy Band Great Lakes is Chief Musician Brandon Barbie. Another acknowledgement, please, for their outstanding performance this morning. The Parade of Graduates is underway and will arrive at Midway Ceremonial Hall in just a few moments. Please make sure that all personal items are clear of the aisles and the drill deck. Guests in the balcony are reminded that standing along the rail is prohibited for the remainder of the ceremony. We know that your sailors will have many wonderful and amazing stories for you about their boot camp experience. However, at this time, we offer some video evidence that reveals our side of the story.
Good morning, and welcome to Recruit Training Command and today's graduation. We are very excited to have all the family and friends of our sailors both here and online. You are about to watch the formal transition from recruit to full-fledged sailor in the world's greatest and most powerful Navy. As we honor the accomplishments of America's best and brightest, we must also honor the family and friends of these new sailors. Without you and your steadfast support and devotion, this day would not be possible. Throughout our nation's history, the secret to our military success has always been the military families that stand the watch at home and always support their sailors. The Department of Defense has made the determination that the men and women graduating today have what it takes, and that's thanks to you. So on behalf of the United States Navy, thank you, and welcome to the Navy family. This celebration is not just for our graduates, but for you as well. Take special pride in what your sailor has accomplished and the tremendous journey they are about to embark on. They are our future. Thank you again for your support and all you do to help keep America safe and strong. Enjoy the ceremony, and again, welcome to our Navy family.
As the parade of graduates approaches, we salute the states and territories whose sons and daughters will graduate today.
Delaware,
Pennsylvania, New Jersey,
Georgia,
Connecticut, Massachusetts,
Maryland,
South Carolina,
New Hampshire,
Virginia, New York,
North Carolina, Rhode Island, Vermont,
Kentucky, Tennessee,
Ohio, Louisiana, Indiana,
Mississippi,
Illinois,
Alabama, Maine,
Missouri,
Arkansas, Michigan,
Florida, Texas,
Iowa, Wisconsin,
California, Minnesota,
Oregon, Kansas,
West Virginia, Nevada,
Nebraska,
Colorado, North Dakota,
South Dakota,
Montana,
Washington,
Idaho,
Wyoming, Utah,
Oklahoma,
New Mexico, Arizona,
Alaska,
Hawaii, District of Columbia,
Puerto Rico,
Guam,
American Samoa,
Northern Mariana Islands,
Virgin Islands,
state flags, order, arms. And now we invite you to join the staff of Recruit Training Command in welcoming the graduating divisions with your applause as they enter Midway Ceremonial Hall and are announced in the following order.
Please welcome Division 019. Division 020. Division 021. Division 022. Division 023. Division 024. Division 025. Division 026. Division 027. Division 028. Today's graduating performing unit is Division 903. Division 903 provides the recruit choir, drill team, and band for today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. Thank you. Divisions, right, face. Section leaders, fall out and collect outer garments. Divisions, counter, march. Divisions, halt.
Prepare for review. At a normal interval, dress left, dress. Ready, front, left, face, at close interval, dress right, dress. Ready, front. Right, face, parade, rest.
May I have your attention, please? For the remainder of the review, no one will be permitted to pass in front of the review stand. And we ask this as a courtesy to our reviewing officer. Photography is certainly encouraged, but we ask that you remain seated and off the drill deck. The photographers you will see on deck throughout the review are the official photographers of Recruit Training Command. Division commanders, left or right, face, parade, rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm Lieutenant Simon Bennett, Recruit Training Command's Drill Division Officer. I would like to welcome you to today's Pass and Review. Today you will see 11 divisions comprised of 773 sailors participate in their graduation ceremony and soon join the most powerful Navy in the world. Please draw your attention to the unit positioned at center deck. There is the Review Commander and staff. The Review Commander is responsible for conducting the graduation ceremony. Today's Review Commander is Senior Recruit Christopher Horcabas from Sacramento, California. Let's give him a hand, folks. Performing today is the State Flags Unit on their 6th week of training, Staff Unit on their 7th week, and graduating is the Triple Threat Unit on their 8th and final week of training. These units are comprised entirely of recruits. During their night of arrival, all recruits are placed into divisions of 88 personnel and assigned their division commanders. Recruit division commanders form the backbone of recruit training and are the key individuals in the life of every recruit. Division commanders must serve as counselors, disciplinarians, administrators, and military leaders. Above all, they must show themselves as outstanding examples of military bearing, appearance, attitude, and behavior. Each division also has a recruit chief petty officer. This is the senior recruit who supervises the divisional staff positions in the absence of their division commanders. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce the graduating divisions, their division commanders, and recruit chief petty officers. As I introduce each division, they will raise the competitive flags that they have earned throughout their training. As I introduce each recruit chief petty officer, the flag representing their home state will also be raised. Please hold your applause until all introductions have been completed. I'll be starting from their right. Division 019. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Michael Bettencourt. Petty Officer First Class Maria Leona Guerrero. Petty Officer Second Class Marcus Ford. And their recruit chief petty officer, Seaman Eric Miller from Northville, Michigan. Division 020. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Adjourney McLean. Petty Officer First Class Larry Llewellyn. Petty Officer Second Class Aaliyah DeBro. And their recruit chief petty officer is Seaman Ethan Tweed from New York, New York. Division 021. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Enver Sevilla Martinez. Petty Officer First Class Cedric Garner. Petty Officer Second Class Christian Carbonetto. And the recruit chief petty officer, Seaman Cottrell Graham from Des Moines, Iowa. Division 022. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Cedric Jenkins. Petty Officer Second Class Julius Hudson. Petty Officer Second Class Darius Fields. And their recruit chief petty officer, Seaman Andrew Nelson from Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Division 023. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Andrew Baldwin. Petty Officer Second Class William Shipp. And their recruit chief petty officer, Seaman Alonzo Evans from San Jose, California. Division 024. Commanded by Senior Chief Petty Officer David Leonard. Petty Officer First Class Zachary Rude. Petty Officer Second Class Larry Mayberry. And their recruit chief petty officer, Seaman Thomas Riley from Mattituck, New York. Division 025. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Timothy Nugent. Petty Officer First Class Kirby Augustin. Petty Officer First Class Reed Johnson. And their recruit chief petty officer, Seaman J. Stein from Worland, Wyoming. Division 026. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Stephen Danley. Petty Officer First Class James McIntyre. Petty Officer Second Class Kyle Hernandez. And their recruit chief petty officer, Seaman Corey Peyrani from Houston, Texas. Division 027. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Michael Watts. Petty Officer First Class Jasmine Robinson. Petty Officer Second Class Ryan Keaton. And their recruit chief petty officer, Seaman Valeria Corredo Ira Abreu from San Juan, Puerto Rico. Division 028. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer Eliza Ochoa. Petty Officer First Class Chad Grinnell. Petty Officer Second Class Raymond Inslee. And their recruit chief petty officer, Seaman Alexander Nicolo from Smyrna, Delaware. Division 903. Commanded by Chief Petty Officer James Castile. Petty Officer First Class Anna Avalos. Petty Officer First Class Eric Castillo. And their recruit chief petty officer, Seaman Caitlin O'Neill from Lapeer, Michigan. On behalf of the commanding officer and staff of Recruit Training Command, we congratulate these division commanders and recruit chief petty officers on a job well done. In a moment, you will see the ceremonial side boys, bosun, and honor guard take their places for arrival honors. This time honored tradition is our formal greeting to this morning's reviewing officer. When requested by the announcer, please stand for the arrival honors, marching under the colors, national anthem, and the invocation. As a reminder, military guests shall remain covered throughout the entire graduation ceremony. And ladies and gentlemen, one final note. As befitting the importance of this occasion, our ceremony is conducted in a formal manner. However, we do encourage you to participate in today's graduation ceremony by letting your applause show your sailors just how proud of them you are. Once again, welcome aboard.
Attention!
Will the guests please rise and remain standing for the arrival of the official party? Recruit Training Command, arriving.
Order! Arms!
Deputy Director of Plans, Policy, and Strategy, United States European Command, arriving.
Order! Arms!
Naval Service Training Command, arriving. Order! Arms! The guests may be seated.
Morning, Admiral. On guard, stand by for inspection, sir. Inspection! Arms!
Will the guests please rise? Present arms.
Order, arms. Retire the colors.
Present arms. Order, arms. Chaplain Anderson will offer this morning's invocation.
Let us pray. O God of wisdom, we offer thanks and praise for the gift of new beginnings and for the opportunity to learn and to wonder. Bless these shipmates as they now finish boot camp and experience another new beginning, that of a United States sailor. We thank you for those that taught and worked beside them, their RDCs, instructors, and staff, and all who supported them along the way, fellow recruits, loving families, and friends. Walk with these sailors as they leave and move forward in their Navy careers. Take away their anxiety and confusion of purpose as they transition from here to the next locale. Strengthen their many talents and skills in A School. Instill in them a confidence in the future where energies may be gathered up and used for the good of all people. But we keep in mind this moment. Grant these sailors a moment of rest and comfort during their first liberty in 8 weeks. May their situational awareness and attention to detail not disappear the moment they step out of this drill hall. And may they enjoy the presence of family and friends, and things like caffeine and cell phones. Be with each of us, be with all of us, O God. Amen and amen.
Eternal Father, strong to save,
Our guests may be seated. At this point, the commanding officer would issue orders and instructions to the unit commanders. Then the unit commanders would face about and relay the information to their divisions. Today's events demonstrate how orders are passed through the chain of command.
Divisions! Report! Very well. 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 All divisions present are accounted for, sir. Very well. The Sailors' Creed.
Good morning, Captain. I present the graduating divisions. Request permission to commence the review.
Very well. Commence the review.
Aye, sir. Forward! Rest! Sound off! Orders reporting, sir.
Very well.
Good morning. I'm Captain Eric Thors, Commanding Officer of Recruit Training Command. I welcome you to this morning's recruit graduation ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where our Navy heritage meets the future and where these young men and women entered the profession of arms. Division 903 graduates today. They are the staff unit providing arrival honor staff, honor guard, recruit review commander, adjutant, and support for the ceremony. Please join me in giving them a hand for their outstanding performances. Welcome to our reviewing officer, Rear Admiral Mike Bernacchi, Naval Service Training Command, and our guest of honor, Rear Admiral Fred Pyle, Deputy Director of Plans, Policy, and Strategy, U.S. European Command. I would also like to welcome and recognize the veterans in our audience for their service to our country. Would our veterans please stand? I am pleased to welcome the families and friends of these graduates who have come here today to share this significant milestone with our newest sailors. The men and women of Recruit Training Command are dedicated to providing the United States Navy basically trained, physically fit, and sharply disciplined sailors like those whom you see before you. They and others like them serve as the bedrock of our naval forces. They give our Navy its combat edge, and they enable us to help keep this nation secure. These sailors have successfully completed 8 weeks of demanding recruit training. They have recently demonstrated their knowledge and their courage during battle stations. They have earned the right to wear the uniform recognized throughout the world as a symbol of freedom. This training group is ready to graduate and serve in the world's most powerful Navy. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you 773 of the newest and sharpest sailors in the United States Navy.
Recruit Training Command's competitive system among individual recruits and divisions promotes teamwork, attention to detail, and pride in accomplishment. Divisions performing above standards throughout their training are awarded recognition flags in the following mission areas: academic achievement, military drill, compartment readiness, and physical fitness. These flags are carried as a visible symbol of the division's success. Each flag indicates that your sailors, individually and as teams, met performance standards in one or more mission areas.
Parade! Rest!
Admiral Bernacchi will now present this week's individual awards, and he will be joined on the drill deck by our commanding officer, Captain Thors, and our guest of honor, Admiral Pyle. For achieving the highest overall academic score during recruit training, Seaman J. Stein, Division 025 from Worland, Wyoming, has earned the Academic Excellence Award, which is sponsored by the Lake Defiance chapter of the Illinois Society of the Sons of the American Revolution. Seaman Stein receives a letter of commendation from the commanding officer. Well done, sailor! For having displayed extraordinary qualities best expressing the American spirit of honor, initiative, and loyalty, Airman Mason Gonzalez, Division 903 from Radcliffe, Kentucky, is awarded the Navy League Award, which is sponsored by the Navy League of the United States. Airman Gonzalez is presented with a commemorative plaque and a letter of commendation from the commanding officer. Well done, sailor! Airman Apprentice Hassan Folks, Division 019 from Cleveland, Ohio, is the winner of the United Service Organization Award for best exemplifying the spirit and intent of the word shipmate. Airman Apprentice Folks is given a commemorative plaque from the United Service Organization. Well done, sailor! Seaman Sarai Mendez de la Rosa, Division 019 from Chula Vista, California, is a recipient of the Military Order of the World Wars Award of Merit. This award is presented for meritorious performance during recruit training. Seaman Mendez de la Rosa is presented with a commemorative plaque from the Military Order of the World Wars. Well done, sailor! The Military Officers Association Leadership Award is presented to Seaman Madison Harpole, Division 028 from Gothenburg, Nebraska, for demonstrating exceptional tenacity and professionalism. Seaman Harpole is awarded a letter of commendation from our commanding officer. Well done, sailor! Fireman Michelle Pacucci, Division 019 from Des Plaines, Illinois, is a recipient of the Navy Club of the United States of America Military Excellence Award for best exemplifying the qualities of enthusiasm, devotion to duty, military bearing, and teamwork. This award places her at the pinnacle of today's newest sailors. She is awarded a flag letter of commendation. Fireman Pacucci, the staff of Recruit Training Command, salutes you as the finest of this group of graduates. Well done, sailor!
Divisions! Attention!
It is appropriate to recognize such outstanding individual accomplishments by these sailors with a round of 3 cheers. The adjutant will lead all graduating divisions in 3 cheers for this morning's award winners.
Hip, hip! Hooray! Hip, hip! Hooray! Hip, hip!
I have the distinct pleasure this morning of introducing our reviewing officer, Rear Admiral Mike Bernacchi. As Commander, Naval Service Training Command, he leads in transforming volunteers into naval service professionals through instilling and reinforcing core values, knowledge, and skills to prepare them for the fleet. He grew up in Pleasant Ridge, Michigan, and graduated from the University of Detroit with a Bachelor of Science in Biology and holds a master's degree from the University of Michigan in Nuclear Engineering and Industrial Engineering. Rear Admiral Bernacchi's operational tours include service aboard both attack and ballistic missile submarines, including USS James Madison, USS Albuquerque, USS Santa Fe. He commanded USS Alexandria and was Commodore of Submarine Squadron 4 in Groton, Connecticut. Ashore, he has served as Executive Assistant to the Vice Chief of Naval Operations, Executive Assistant to the Chief of Naval Personnel, Chief of Staff for Submarine Group 2, Deputy Nuclear Community Program Manager, Special Assistant to Naval Reactors for Officer Matters, Cruise Missile Planner for Theater Operations at United States Strategic Command. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a warm Recruit Training Command welcome to an outstanding sailor, Rear Admiral Mike Bernacchi.
Thank you, Captain. Good morning to all the families and friends in attendance and all those online. It is always a great honor to be here at RTC. Now, I know it was 32 this morning when you woke up. Actually, it got down to 28, probably before you got up. That is what we call fall here in Chicago. So we're going to get started with a little audience participation. First, for all of the veterans who are here who have a sailor, please stand and remain standing for a second. I would like to thank you. Thank you. You know a little bit about who we are. So thank you for allowing your loved one to join the family business. And please have a seat. Now, I would like to ask all of you who have absolutely no military service whatsoever, who are here supporting a sailor, to please stand and remain standing. Now, I'm sure some of you had some hesitation about your loved ones joining the Navy, so thank you for trusting us. We will take good care of your sailor. For today, you join our Navy family. For you see, everyone has something in common today, even the veterans who are Army, and that today you're all part of the Navy family. Please have a seat. For you see, I get it. I truly do. I know how hard it is for those of you who have not worn the uniform to give one up, to give up a loved one to now serve. Because you may not realize it, but you will be serving as well. My wife is a great example. She's been a Navy wife for over 30 years. She has been more than willing to share her husband with the Navy, but I tell you, it was a whole new ball game when our son decided to join. Now she serves twice, both as a Navy mom and, yes, as a Navy wife. I'm also honored to have my good friend, Admiral Pyle. Now, we have served in the Pentagon, done time together, and we're both very happy to not be in that place. He joins me here from Europe. Fred is a dear friend. All I have to do is look at his wife. His wife has not only given her husband, but she has also given 3 sons to the Navy. So I do get it. You all serve. These sailors, the sailors you see before you, are of incredible moral character. And that is because of you. You serve alongside them. All I can do is say thank you. And again, welcome to our family. Now, as in any good family, you might hear some stories. So before you hear them from the sailor, let me tell you a little bit about what really happens here. So I want to set the record straight. After all, you got to understand, they were under a lot of stress, and sometimes they're going to get some of these details wrong. So let's get going. Now, you may hear some stories about how we put them in these labs. Now, we did no experiments on them, despite what they might tell you. But we put them in these labs, and we had them go again and again and again, repeating tasks like donning firefighting equipment, patching pipes, handling fire hoses, doing first aid, handling stretchers, and all kinds of hands-on training under a great deal of stress until they had to do it to perfection. Well, to be honest with you, yeah, that's all true. All right, let's go on to the next story. You may hear how we forced them to handle lines and work as a team to make sure no one was injured. Then we put them in different labs and forced them to practice that line handling until they could do it with absolutely no help from their instructors. And then we made them do it till they could lead themselves. You may even hear how they got so good that the follow-on schools had to change their curriculum because of how well trained they were. Okay, yeah, that story's true too. Next story. You may hear stories about how we woke them up in the middle of the night, if you can believe that, where we had man overboard drills, where they had to self-organize and account for each other. They had to do everything on their own with no help at all, take accountability for each other. Then they'll tell you that we made them stand watch 24/7. They had to manage their own sleep, take logs, read gauges, make reports to the officer of the deck, all kinds of things, just like on a real ship. Then they'll tell you we made them fight fires, practice damage control gear, shoot weapons, qualify 9mm, drill, take responsibility for absolutely everything, even make their bed. How preposterous. Yep, that's all true too. All right, just a couple more. All right, and then you're gonna hear we PT'd them to death. That's physical training. We drilled them while we did it. We asked them questions. We demanded perfection. We wouldn't let them speak at their meals. We made them drink water. We took away all their sugar. Then, we made them eat their vegetables. Before we even let them start training, we made them perform and pass a forming standard to prove they were worthy of our training. Okay, probably most, well, all right, all that's true too. All right, now we'll get to my favorite story. There's this fantastic fable that they may weave of how we made them work all day, and then we kept them all night. We magically transformed them to this Arleigh Burke-class destroyer where we made them stand watch. They came under missile attack. They had to stop flooding, put out fires, save their shipmates. They had to use critical thinking to save their ship. All along the way, every single part of this was graded, both individually and as a group. For you see, in the Navy, it is the ultimate team sport. This is an absolutely ridiculous, exceptional fairy tale. And then they'll tell you they're sworn where they can't talk about it. I will tell you this is truly a fairy tale, except for the fact it's all true. My point is simple. Your sailor has earned the right to wear that uniform, the iconic crackerjack. Maybe more than any recently before them, because I'll be honest with you, we have upped our game here at RTC, and your sailor has risen to the occasion. They are ready to fight the enemy, and they will protect their ships. Ladies and gentlemen, they are the shield of our republic, the heroes of our generation, the ones who will allow us to sleep at night, and we need them. For today, we face more threats than we have since World War II. And still, these brave men and women volunteer to serve. This tells me two things. One, they have incredible moral character. And two, they got that from you. You, their friends and family. You have laid the strong foundation on which the recruit division commanders built. You have been there guiding them, teaching them, instilling them those values in them. Your job has been more difficult than anyone here today, and you have our tremendous gratitude. It will be challenging in the fleet, to be sure, and these brave men and women will continue to need your love, prayers, and support, just as they always have. Now, for our newest sailors who are about to embark on the adventure of your lives. As professionals in our naval service and warriors in our Navy, we are expected to serve with honor, courage, and commitment. These are not just words, they are our way of life. They are traits which your RDCs have worked hard to instill, and the fact that you are standing here means you possess them. These are the values we depend on in a shipmate, and today I get to call you shipmate. So be ready. You are on the cusp of an extraordinarily exciting time. Face the challenges which will lay ahead of you, excel in them, and your stories will be the ones told to the next generation. Look around, look at the picture on the wall. Our freedom is due to the U.S. sailor, our shipmates, and today, that's you. You are the next generation of heroes. I am proud to welcome you as the Navy's newest sailors, or, as I just said, our newest heroes. So to my newest shipmates, buckle up. You're in for one hell of a ride. May God bless our Navy and all who sail as the shield of the Republic. Happy Thanksgiving to all.
Admiral Bernacchi will now receive the salute of the graduating divisions, and he will be joined on the drill deck by our commanding officer, Captain Thors. Please remain seated until your graduates have been placed on liberty. Please join me in one more round of appreciation for our wonderful musicians of Navy Band Great Lakes. Flags. Post. Section leaders fall out and retrieve outer garments. Midway Ceremonial Drill Hall will be closing at the conclusion of today's graduation. Please check the area around you to ensure you have all your possessions. For those families with strollers, please retrieve them as you exit the drill hall. Thanks again to each and every one of you for joining us on this most memorable of Navy Days. And without further delay, now hear this, Liberty Call, Liberty Call!